Hi, my name is Ace.
And I'm Jason.
And welcome to the Guitar Show Live podcast in association with SAE. We've been having some real fun. We've been talking to the artists, we've been down in the show, we've been talking to the manufacturers as well, and we've got some great stories and some real fun things to share with you about the whole show, spotting out the community, the whole lot.
Yeah, we got 20 episodes that are going to roll out over the next year, so strap yourselves in.
Hello, I'm here with Billy Watman. My name is Ace. So, Billy, you have just played the show, right? I saw some of your set in there. It was fantastic, right? You're also representing Ortega Guitars here today. Tell me a little bit about the adventure you just had in the other room.
Oh man, what time? I had a little 40-minute set, playing some tunes. And also, I feel like I really like doing these types of events because not many of like my close mates like play guitar. I have like one close mate close to where I live that plays guitar, so he's the only person I can talk to that will have any idea about what I'm going on. And I feel like I've really nerd out on a lot of stuff. And like this is the one place I can talk to the audience and they all know exactly what I mean. So I love doing it, kind of doing a performance, but also talking about how I kind of do my arrangements and all that kind of nerdy guitar stuff.
It's a quick, I had a quick walk around earlier on downstairs. The guitar show is not just a guitar show and selling and showing guitars. It's a community, isn't it? Don't
absolutely.
you think?
Yeah.
Right?
I feel like, there's always... Between like exhibitors and like punters that come, I feel like there's like you kind of grow relationships with like all these people because like there's like people I've been seeing for years coming to all these different guitar shows across country.
And there's like there's as many conversations about stuff than there is actually looking at things, right? When you're downstairs, everybody's engaged in a conversation about gear and sounds and things like that.
It's just so good. Everyone here just loves guitar.
Yeah,
and it's just such good vibes to be around.
So you've done this for a few years. Tell me, how many years have you been turning up and doing this show?
Oh man. I think so I've kind of been going to all of the guitar shows for, got to be over 10 years now. Just like, because I started out coming out with my dad to like the London one and kind of just going around to like the Birmingham one, like these different ones. And then eventually, I started growing my music career, started using Ortega guitars, which I'm now got a signature model guitar, which is extremely exciting. And now also a signature model ukulele, which is
amazing.
Brand new.
That's a real achievement, isn't it?
So yeah, it feels amazing to kind of like be kind of gone through that journey.
So with Ortega, when you've got the your signature model, how do you get a signature model in a guitar brand? Tell me like a brief process of that.
It was like during lockdown that we started speaking about the idea. I think I'd been using their guitars for maybe 5 years-ish at this point. No, maybe a little bit less. Maybe like 3 or 4 years, I think. And the owner of the company just kind of got in chatting. He was like, "How do you feel about a signature guitar?" And I was like, "Yes."
You've arrived.
I was going to say no.
You've arrived, haven't you?
I think also because I've been like kind of growing stuff on social media at this point as well. So I feel like it kind of like it's a nice two-way street that I get to say that I have this Billy Watman signature model guitar, and then they also kind of get to like other people see me playing their guitar. So it's like a nice kind of two-way relationship that we kind of have. And then we kind of just spoke about the designs. I kind of obviously I liked a lot of their guitars already, so I kind of just went through. I was like, this is what I like. This is what I kind of would like on it. Like I'm pretty open to kind of ideas, whatever. I think the main thing for me is I wanted it to be really easy to play. So it's obviously I've come from like classical background and like playing like full on traditional classical guitars. So for example, like the body shape is slightly smaller. The neck width is basically in between. So a traditional classical guitar neck is 52 mil and a steel string is usually 44, 45 mil, and mine is a 48 mil. So it's just in between.
Yeah,
so it's like kind of the best of both worlds.
It's like artist profile, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah,
like
slightly lower
stuff.
action as well, and then also like same as kind of what's on this ukulele, this kind of little armrest.
Oh yeah.
On the guitar as well. So yeah, just really really comfortable to play. And
so
and then also this wood that was like deal breaker if it didn't have that. I was like, there's no way it's not having this wood. This is the coolest wood ever, and I never see it on guitars.
It's amazing. It's an amazing achievement as well to like have your own guitar. You just mentioned that you came to the guitar show with your dad, right?
Yeah.
So was your Is your dad a guitar player, a musician?
A very bad one. No, I'm
Ah,
joking. I'm joking. I'm
root
joking. I love you,
root
Dad.
fifth.
I love
Never,
you.
never went wrong with a root and fifth. Okay.
My dad's always like, he's loved rock music.
Yeah.
So I grew up kind of, just having like AC/DC, just like playing live on TV,
Good
like,
stuff.
the classics. So I kind of grew up on like, and he like had a couple of guitars around, and he can pump out a couple chords. He can play a little bit of bass.
Yeah.
I've tried to like teach him a little bit further, but yeah, he's a lost cause. No, I'm joking. But yeah, he's definitely like where it's originated, and I feel like it was actually for Christmas one year. I don't really remember this, but this is what I've been told. Like, I was 4. I sort of do have bits of memory, but he got a ukulele from my uncle just as a Christmas present. I was like, oh my God. And he was just like, yeah, you know it. And I just kind of just got obsessed. I feel like I've got a like mega obsessive personality. And I just got instantly obsessed, kind of like looking at all the YouTube videos, learning how to play it. Then eventually got a guitar, did the same thing for a couple of years. Then eventually got a teacher, went through a couple of different styles, then started doing the classical, and then
So where did you grow up then? Where did you grow up?
It's sort of near Oxford. It's like in between Oxford and London.
Oh, okay then. Okay.
So, nice little countryside town.
I was trying to place your accent, you see.
Yeah.
So when you were talking, I said St Albans, right?
Oh no, it's not far. Yeah, yeah.
See,
That's
I knew
pretty
it. I
close.
told you, James. St Albans.
Yeah.
There you go. It's close anyway.
Yeah.
So
Well, I went to school in Watford, which is even closer.
well, this is it. Watman, you're from
There
Watford.
you go.
You're a man
There you
from
go.
Watford. Okay. So talking about like your kind of musical career and stuff, I would just watch you do Comfortably Numb,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Brilliant, right? And that's all I was watching. I was like, what's going to happen when it comes to the guitar solo,
Mm.
right? Is he just going to fade out before it happens? But you did the solo within the playing. It was spectacular. It was amazing.
Thank
And
you.
that's such a landmark solo in like rock music,
Yeah.
right? How do you approach learning something like that? I can't even fathom learning something and combining it into a rhythm playing.
Oh, can I get my guitar out? And it'll be easy to kind of explain. Is that gonna work?
Yeah. You can do it.
I suppose I'm kind of the first kind of step, and I like whether it's kind of a solo or chords and melody. I feel like it starts in the same way. That it's like, okay, what are my chords, and then what is my melody? Which because of the B minor. I mean, I'm playing A/C, but B minor, A, G, B minor, and then back to B minor. And then that first bit of the solo is he does like a pinch harmonic, and I just kind of ignore that. I was like, that's not going to work for me right now. But obviously it starts in the. It's kind of really just B minor pentatonic scale. What is it? So it's quite nice to kind of play, and it works pretty nicely in the guitar. But it's like when we kind of play things with chords, it's like something's usually going to have to move.
Yeah.
Which was like you probably could play the first chord there. It's like, where else do I have a chord that's
So you bridge the gaps like with the chords.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, first it'll kind of. I won't kind of go through like the whole process, but it's kind of like, okay, so where do I have a B minor chord that's somewhere near this, which we could have 7th fret E minor shape. So that would work as well. I just like I wasn't really too much of a fan here. Also because it was going to A. So I was kind of like I could have it move that melody down instead. Because then I could have that kind of like nicer gap.
Do you learn it? Do you chunk it like when you're learning? Do you learn it bit by bit, or do you kind of go, right, I'm going to learn the chord section first, and then I'm going to put the solo in and then put it together? Or do you go, here's a block, a piece of solo, a chord, a piece of solo, a chord? How do you learn? Do you chunk it, or do you learn it in?
Usually medium-sized chunks, I'd say. So like a fair bit of the solo, I'll be like, okay, so let me just like hear what's going on. Like with the chords, and it basically just stays on that same chord progression like the whole way through. So it's quite nice that I don't have to like think too much about like changing these chords all the time.
Do you use visualization? Do you visualize the chords and the melody in your head before you play, so that you can actually place where you're going to put your fingers?
Sometimes, yeah. So I feel like a lot of kind of doing stuff by ear is just really just training your ears, because I don't have perfect pitch. So perfect pitch is where someone can hear notes the same way we see colours. So it's like they'll just hear a note and be like, yeah, that's C or whatever. Whereas I don't have that, but you can train relative pitch. So if someone tells you that this is C, you can kind of know, oh, okay, so I know where these other notes are going to be in relation to these notes.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
then, makes things a lot easier for kind of just knowing. Like, it's almost like a bit of a shortcut of knowing, like, I can tell it's this note and I know it's this chord, which means it's kind of becomes a little bit faster. So I suppose I can sort of, depending on how intricate the song is, I can sort of do things sort of on the fly with minimal mistakes.
Is it like, like if you're in improvisation within a structure, right? Do you sometimes go, I'm going to do this? Actually, no, I'm not going to do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Do you?
Absolutely.
Because you're talking about pulling things off, like with the stretch and like within the songs, Danger Zone, right? When I'm playing, sometimes I'm like, I can do this. And other times I'm like, I'm not going to do this, right? I can't improvise in this part. So do you kind of like mentally make a choice as you are playing live to, actually, I'm going to try something out here? Or do you stick to the program?
For like a live show, if I've come up with an arrangement, no, I probably won't try and alter it too much. I feel like there's more to go wrong, and also I feel like I perform best when I'm in this kind of in that flow state of like, if it sounds good, then I'm gonna play better. Yeah. And if I make a mistake, it's gonna throw that off. Throw a rock in the works. And I feel like that is another kind of topic, I suppose, is like playing live. Like, mistakes are gonna happen, no matter how much you practice. Like, you can't eliminate the chance of a mistake happening. You can minimize it massively by practicing, but there's always a chance that something could go wrong. You could just have a random memory slip of something, and it's like, how do you overcome that and not let it completely throw things off?
Yeah, you have to throw it in the air, don't you?
Yeah.
And it's gone, it's moved. I mean, the right note is only one note away anyway, right?
Or just call it jazz.
Play a wrong note,
it's free jazz.
Play it twice, and then people think it's part of the song. But tell me about you've got Brazilian roots, yeah?
Yeah.
How does that influence your music?
I think that's definitely where some of the interest has come from kind of just Latin guitar in general. I think it's a mix of that and from classical guitar being quite closely related to flamenco guitar.
Which part of your family does that come from?
It's my mum.
Okay, right.
So mum's Brazilian, dad's English.
Right.
And then I was born here.
Oh, okay then. So did you grow up with that music in your household, or was it something that you kind of tracked back when you realised that your parents had that, your mum had that heritage?
Sort of. There was definitely bits of it. I think I definitely showed more interest in later years.
Yeah.
It was definitely there growing up, yeah.
And then what about we're talking about that Brazilian kind of brilliant culture. Then you're talking about AC/DC, right? Right. Did you learn any stuff you said you were drawn to the classical side of playing, but did you learn electric guitar as well?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So do you shred when you want to? Come on, admit it.
I mean,
admit
I don't really play
shred.
as much. Yeah,
we all shred.
Of course, a little bit. I don't really play as much electric anymore, but I feel like you can still shred a bit on nylon. It's a bit different.
Yeah.
But I mean, even the flamenco stuff still kind of shreds a little bit though.
There you go. They're all from the same place, aren't they? Really. So I see that you're you mentioned you're a fan of Tommy Emmanuel.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? He's awesome, isn't he? He's Australian, isn't he, Tommy?
Yes. Yeah,
and I think I met him many years ago somewhere. I can't remember where it was. And when he plays, he uses an anchor, doesn't he? Right. So he anchors with his little finger, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the time. When you play, do you use an anchor, or are you one of those people that are specifically gifted that doesn't need to anchor and can just play?
Well, so I think this is the thing that's. And there's bits of the classical guitar that I do love for this, but there's other bits that I think are a bit too far gone. It can be quite pompous in the classical world. It's like you can only do things this way and everything else is wrong. And I feel like I don't view things like that, but it's like the technique is drilled into you more than any other genre that I've seen. And that's why if you see almost every single classical player has impeccable technique that's almost the same.
Yeah.
Whereas you'll still have for example, Tommy Emmanuel, from a classical technique point of view is not great, but he's still an insane player. And it's not that he has bad technique, but it's just compared to the classical. So I'm not saying that I think that it's the only way, but it's just it's viewed as kind of, I suppose the idea of having in classical music is that we want as much control over the strings at all times possible.
Yeah.
And having that kind of anchor down, it means that there is a difference from how free your index is to then how limited your ring is.
Yeah.
Because it's an interesting fact here. Your middle ring share a tendon, and then your ring and pinky also share a tendon. That's why if you do the thing on the table where you have the knuckle and you can't actually, lift this finger.
Yeah.
And that's like really limiting on the guitar at points. There was this exercise that I always played, which was every single fret. It doesn't really matter where you do it. I just do it on 5th fret of the G string, and then index and pinky stay where they are. Middle goes up to the D, and then ring goes down to the B, and then disclaimer, this sounds horrible and feels horrible if anyone tries this. And then you switch strings from the D to B. And it's like, it really exercises that tendon, and then once you get good at that one, you can then make the gap bigger.
Wow.
And then do the same with the ring and pinky as well. But it's that same idea that you're kind of being limited when you're here. It's like you're not going to have as much control as kind of being free and having kind of like equal kind of plucky on the fingers.
Yeah.
But I feel like, you can... This is I suppose where it gets into like the whole classical world, where I'm not a massive fan, because you can be an amazing guitar player. Yeah, but like Tommy Manuel, great example. He does that. One of the most insane guitar players of all time. Like, it's not that you can't do stuff and not be a great guitarist.
I think it's, you know what, you make the rules.
Absolutely.
It started with no rules, you make the rules.
Yeah, who's to tell, like, says who, is literally says who. Like, I feel like that's, something I didn't really like about the classical world is very much, you do anything that's like remotely, like,
that's why I love Nigel Kennedy. He's awesome, isn't it? I went and saw his rock band. It was one of the best shows I've ever seen. So I'm going to let you get down to the show, all right, and have a look around and spend some money. You have to spend some money. You've got to keep the industry going, right? But tell me about what is coming up for you now. What's next for you now?
I think, just trying to grow everything I'm doing on a bigger scale. I think I want to get to the point where I'm just like only doing my own shows. I feel like I really love that kind of crowd interaction. As much as I like doing the background stuff here and there. It's nice little chilled out guitar playing. But I really, really soothes my soul having that kind of proper crowd interaction, putting on a show. So I feel like that's the dream, doing that big. Just growing that, keep going at the social media, just growing everything really.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Billy Watman, enjoy the rest of the show, and I will see you down there spending some money. Okay, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.